Hello, good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingray Tim Hokip bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include: Court rejects Mark Hokip's bail plea case, Dozier leaks sordid details. Lam Min says Silhou took over the chairs of Kautu Defense Secretary. India declares one-day state mourning after Iran's President Raisi's death. Iran to hold press polls on June 28 as Raisi dies in chopper crash. News in details. The Court of Session Judge in Far West today rejected an application filed by Mark Thangmang Hokip for releasing him on bail. The order was kept reserved after hearing submissions of Mark Thangmang Hokip's counsel and APP of the state in connection with a bail application filed by Mark Thangmang Hokip on June 15. The present FIR case was registered against Mark Thangmang Hokip for allegedly being the president of an outfit called Government of the People's Democratic Republic of Kukiland, GPDRK, and conspiring for cessation from India, wage or attempting to wage war or abetting waging of war against the government of India along with three other office bearers, namely K.S. Kipgen, Secretary Administration, Lun Ho Hokip, Secretary Political Affairs, and C.S.K. Mate, Press Secretary. It was also alleged that Mark Thangmang Hokip is also involved in spreading propaganda on social media platforms so as to create instability, communal hatred, animosity, violence, etc., so as to achieve the organizational goal of government of Kukiland. The case Dozier also mentioned many instances such as obstruction to mass tree plantation in Tangzing Hills to incite hatred or tension between different communities. The Kaubru incident of April 2021, where obstruction was given to government's official in surveying of site of Lord Kaubru, Churachandpur incident of 21st May 2022, where a violent mass protest erupted in protest against the summon issued to him for appearance, and the violent protest launched by a mob belonging to his organization on 25 May 2022 in protest against his arrest from Delhi. It was also alleged that Mark Thangmang Hokip owns a website or domain by the name www.cookiegovernment.com to propagate their ideas and hatch conspiracy against the government. Incriminating materials in Kuki dialect are found in the website. Mark Thangmang Hokip was arrested from Delhi on May 24 by personnel of Imphal Police Station in connection with three FIRs registered against him, and he was later brought to Imphal after obtaining a transit remand. On May 27, a duty magistrate released him on bail, but he was sent to judicial custody as he failed to furnish requisite bonds. However, on May 30, Mark Thangmang Hokip was released from jail on furnishing necessary bonds. Mark Thangmang Hokip's counsel said that the accused was re-arrested on May 30 itself in connection with the present FIR case with malefied intention and to harass him. The accused was arrested on the basis of certain Facebook posts he uploaded, and the present FIR was registered with the sole motive to confine him in custody anyhow. Even after his release by the court, the counsel continued. Multiple FIRs were lodged against him for the same post. During the course of hearing, the defense counsel also submitted print out of 6 Facebook posts made by the accused in his dialect along with their translated copies. In his social media post dated August 21, 2020, the accused clarified that PDRK was created to spread the Kuki community's ideology, and in his another post dated February 14, 2018, the accused made it clear that he was against the idea of creating new militant group but suggested political and non-violent means to realize their hopes. The defense counsel contended that these innocuous Facebook posts do not fall within the meaning of any of the offenses charged against Mark Thangmang Hokip. Rather, it is protected by the fundamental rights of free speech and enshrined under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution of India. It was further pointed out that the investigation does not take into consideration the clarifications made by the accused in his sixth Facebook post and prayed for releasing Mark Tangmang Haokip on bail. The APP clarified that the present FIR is not related to the accused's Facebook post. The accused was arrested on the serious allegations of waging war against India, the APP said. This aspect was discovered recently during the course of extensive investigation. Although it has been established that he formed the People's Democratic Republic of Kukiland along with 3 other persons, he refused to identify the other members of his group. There are a lot of contributions to the account operated by the accused, and the transaction records run to 276 pages or printouts. The investigation is still going on to track the sources of funding and expenditures, the APP said. Conspiracy of waging war against the nation is clearly reflected in the website materials of www.kukigovt.com and the entries of the diary seized from the possession of the accused, he continued. The APP further submitted that the accused is a famous social media influencer with a huge fan of followers, and he used to upload offensive posts which may cause hatred and dissatisfaction between various groups. His arrest evoked mass-scale violent protests from his followers and sympathizers. As such, he is very much likely to continue to uphold offensive posts in social media if released on bail, and thus will create a hostile atmosphere amongst various communities on ethnic lines, the APP continued. Since the investigation is at early stage and identities of other conspirators are to be established, his release may hamper the progress of investigation. The APP asserted and prayed for rejection of Mark Tangmang Haokip's bail application. The court, after hearing both the parties and on perusal of materials on record, observed that the accused has been charged with serious offense of waging war against the nation. It is an admitted fact that he was released on bail in connection with FIRs related to his Facebook post, but it would be wrong to presume that the present FIR has arisen out of Facebook posts, the court pointed out. On perusal of the case diary, the court found prima facie materials for conspiracy to wage war against the nation, even though full-scale activities of recruiting volunteers, procuring arms and ammunition, etc. have not been reached. Nevertheless, there are instances of setting out ideologies, identifying enemies, identifying areas to be covered under the new republic across neighboring countries, etc., remarked Session Judge A. Guneswar Sharma. The investigation is at an early stage and many loose ends are to be tightened, and accordingly, the bail application of Mark Tangmang Haokip is rejected, asserted the court. Proceedings of the joint meeting of KOTU and CSO Sadar Hills, Kangpokpi District on the 20th of May 2024 at KOTU office are as under. First, the request for resignation by Thangmin Lin Kipgen, KOTU Defense Secretary, was granted by the committee. After careful consideration, and Lam Min Se Sitho was appointed as the new KOTU Defense Secretary. Second, burial program of our martyr Kamlin Sat Khongsai and Kamin Lalupeng of Paileng Mall Area Village Volunteer will be solemnly conducted on the 24th of May 2024 at Martyr Cemetery, Paizang. All the Kuki-Zo citizens of Sadar Hills and its surrounding areas are requested to join the burial program. Third, the shutting down of government offices in connection with the 2 martyrs case will reopen on the 27th of May 2024. The government of India declared a one-day state mourning on Tuesday as a mark of respect to Iranian President Sayyid Ibrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian, who died in a helicopter crash. During this period of mourning, the national flag will be flown at half-mast on all buildings where it is customarily displayed. There will be no official entertainment throughout the day. The 63-year-old Raisi and his entourage were heading to the northwestern city of Tabriz after returning from a visit to a locality on the Azerbaijan-Iran border on Sunday when their helicopter crashed in northwestern Iran. Raisi, Abdollahian, and a number of other officials on board the chopper were found that Monday at the site of the helicopter crash. A Home Ministry spokesperson said Sayed Ibrahim Raisi, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Hossein Amit Abdollahian, the country's foreign minister, passed away in a helicopter crash. As a mark of respect to the departed dignitaries, the government of India has decided that there will be one-day state mourning on May 21, Tuesday, throughout India, the spokesperson said. On the day of mourning, the national flag will be flown at half-mast throughout India on all buildings where the national flag is flown regularly, and there will be no official entertainment on the day, the official added. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was deeply saddened and shocked by the tragic demise of Raisi, adding that India stands with Iran in this time of sorrow. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also expressed shock over the death of Raisi and his Iranian counterpart, deeply shocked to hear of the passing away of Iran's President Dr. Ibrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister H. Amir Abdollahian in the helicopter crash, Jaishankar said on X. Recall my many meetings with them, most recently in January 2024. Our condolences to their families. We stand with the people of Iran at time of this tragedy, he said. The Mizoram Board of School Education MBSE Aizwal will declare the MBSE Higher Secondary School Leaving Certificate HSSLC Class 12 on May 21. According to the official statement released by the board, the results of the HSSLC examination will be declared at 12:15 p.m. Once announced, students can download their results from the official website of mbse.edu.in and mbseonline.com. In 2023, the Class 12 exam saw a pass percentage of 78.66%. Boys performed better than girls, achieving a pass rate of 79.89% compared to 77.67% for girls. The MBSE declared the Class 10 board exam results on its official website mbse.edu.in on May 14. In the Class 10 results for 2024, boys recorded a pass percentage of 74.38%, while girls had a pass percentage of 72.48%. Notably, over 74 schools achieved a 100% pass rate this year. Additionally, 106 students will be taking the compartment test scheduled for June 2024. The Class 10 board exams were held from February 26 to March 15, and the Class 12 exams took place from February 28 to March 28. Iran is set to hold presidential elections on June 28, as reported by the semi-official Tasnim news agency. This follows the tragic death of President Ibrahim Raisi in a helicopter crash over the weekend. The Constitution of the Islamic Republic dictates that Vice President Mohammad Mokbar will assume the role of president in the interim period. The helicopter carrying Raisi and 8 others, including Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian, crashed in northwestern Iran, claiming their lives. The government attributed the crash to bad weather and dense fog. Candidates for the presidency can register from May 30 onwards, with individuals undergoing vetting by the Guardian Council, a 12-member body of clerics and juries responsible for administering elections. It remains uncertain whether Mokbar will be a candidate in the election. Many analysts believe that the clerical establishment and supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, will favor a president with similar views to Raisi, who was known for his ultra-conservative stance and deep distrust of the US and Israel. In recent elections, the Guardian Council has met its challenging for reformist candidates to run. Raisi's tenure was marked by controversy, with many associating him with the mass arrests and executions that followed violent protests in 2022 after the death in custody of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman detained for illegally violating Iran's strict dress code. Iranians across the country gathered to mourn the loss of President Raisi. The helicopter lost communication while returning to Tabriz after Raisi attended a joint inauguration of a dam with his Azeri counterpart, Ilham Aliyev, along their common border. A massive search and rescue operation was launched when 2 other helicopters in Raisi's convoy lost contact amid harsh weather conditions in the mountainous region. AFP reported that the state TV announced Raisi's death, saying that the servant of the Iranian nation, Ayatollah Ibrahim Raisi, has achieved the highest level of martyrdom, while showing images of him as a voice recited the Quran. Iran's military chief of staff, Mohammad Bagheri, has ordered an investigation into the cause of the crash. International condolences have poured in, with people in cities across Iran mourning the late president and his companions. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei declared 5 days of national mourning and assigned Vice President Mohammad Mokbar, 68, to assume interim duties ahead of the elections. The presidential election following Raisi's death is scheduled for June 28. Raisi's body will be taken to Iran's site's clerical center of Qom before being moved to Tehran. Funeral processions are expected to begin on Wednesday morning, with Raisi's burial planned for the Thursday evening in his hometown of Mashhad. Raisi, 63, was an ultra-conservative who took office in 2021 during a tumultuous time in Iran, marked by mass protests, economic crisis exacerbated by U.S. sanctions, and armed conflicts with Israel. The International Criminal Court is seeking arrest warrants for Hamas leader in Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity over the October 7 attacks on Israel and the subsequent war in Gaza. The court's prosecutor, Karim Khan, told CNN Christine Amanpour in an exclusive interview on Monday. Khan said the ICC's prosecution team is also seeking warrants for Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, as well as two other top Hamas leaders, Mohammad Diab Ibrahim al-Masri, the leader of the Al-Qassam Brigade, who is better known as Mohammad Deif, and Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas political leader. The warrants against the Israeli politicians marks the first time the ICC has targeted the top leader of a close ally of the United States. The decision puts Netanyahu in the company of the Russian President Vladimir Putin, for whom the ICC issued an arrest warrant over Moscow's war on Ukraine, and the Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi, who was facing an arrest warrant from the ICC for alleged crimes against humanity at the time of his capture and killing in October 2011. By applying for the arrest warrants against Israeli and Hamas leaders in the same action, Khan's office risks attracting criticism that it places a terror organization and an elected government on an equivalent footing. Khan said the charges against Sinwar, Haniyeh, and al-Masri include extermination, murder, taking of hostages, rape, and sexual assault in detention. The war was shocked on the 7th of October when people were ripped from their bedrooms, from their homes, from the different kibbutzim in Israel, Khan told Amanpour, adding that people have suffered enormously. Hamas-led militants killed around 1,200 people across several locations in southern Israel on October 7 and took some 250 hostages into Gaza. Many of the hostages are still being held in Gaza. Khan told Amanpour this meant crimes continue to be committed against so many innocent Israelis that are held hostages by Hamas and families that are waiting for their return. Khan told Amanpour his team has a variety of evidence to support the application for arrest warrants against Sinwar, Haniyeh, and al-Masri, including authenticated video footage and photographs from the attacks, as well as evidence from eyewitnesses and survivors. Khan said Israel had every right and indeed an obligation to get hostages back, but you must do so by complying with the law. Responding to the announcement by Khan, Hamas said in a statement that it strongly condemns the attempts of the ICC prosecutor to equate victims with aggressors by issuing arrest warrants against a number of Palestinian resistance leaders without legal basis. Hamas called on the ICC prosecutor to issue arrest warrants against all war criminals, among the occupation leaders, officers, and soldiers who participated in crimes against the Palestinian people, and demands the cancellation of all arrest warrants issued against Palestinian resistance leaders, the group added. Rahul Gandhi, a leader of the Congress party, promised at a Delhi rally to protect the constitution, calling it vital for India's future. He promises to throw the Agnivir scheme in the bin, simplify GST and support small businesses instead of big companies. Rahul Gandhi spoke at a rally in Delhi saying AAP and Congress workers are teaming up to defend the constitution from BJP's plans to scrap it. He promised to create jobs for young people, granting a one-year job with ₹1 lakh salary for graduates, postgraduates and diploma holders. He also pleads to increase ration distribution to 10 kg and provide ₹1 lakh annually to women from poor families. Rahul even joked about Modi copying his speech style, offering to write Modi's speeches if needed. We don't want Darpok leaders to stay with us, only one Babbar Shir, Rahul Gandhi said in an apparent dig on those joining BJP fearing CBI ED action. Rahul Gandhi further said that PM Modi talks about Congress getting tempo loads of money from Adani Ambani, but he doesn't dare to get it probed. In a debate with PM Modi, I want to ask him about his relationship with Adani, about electoral bonds, Rahul Gandhi said at Ramlila Maidan. The former Congress chief further said that he is ready to debate with PM Modi whenever and wherever he wants, but he is sure PM Modi, won't come. Tell me whatever you want Narendra Modi to say. I will make him say that in his speeches, Rahul said and added, he told him, Narendra Modi, you don't mention the names of Adani Ambani. You should mention their names. 2-3 days later, Narendra Modi said, Adani Ambani, Adani Ambani. It's interesting that I will vote for AAP and Arvind Kejriwal will vote for Congress in these elections, Rahul Gandhi mentioned. Rahul Gandhi alleged that PM Modi did nothing for small businessmen but gave ₹16 lakh crore to industrialists like Adani Ambani. Our first aim should be to save the constitution, he mentioned again. Rahul Gandhi further said Kejriwal ji and Hemant Soren ji were put in jail. There is a list of Congress leaders too. One more person has been arrested from Delhi. 4 suspected the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS terrorists who are believed to be Sri Lankan nationals have been arrested at the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad, said Gujarat Anti-Terrorism Squad officers. According to sources, Gujarat ATS officials are interrogating the 4 suspected terrorists. The arrested individuals, all Sri Lankan nationals, are reportedly affiliated with the Islamic State (IS), officials said. For several days, the Gujarat ATS was closely monitoring the activities at the Ahmedabad airport. 4 police teams were strategically positioned to monitor and apprehend the suspects. The terrorists were nabbed on Sunday night. Their intensive interrogation is presently underway, IANS reported, citing its sources. The arrests were made ahead of the arrival of the 3 IPL team and the Ahmedabad airport for the qualifier and eliminator games. The security has been heightened across the airport. According to Hindustan Times, the terrorists reportedly reached Ahmedabad via Chennai from Sri Lanka. They were in touch with Pakistani handlers, reports suggest. The terrorists were identified as Mohammad Nusrat, Mohammad Nufran, Mohammad Fariz, and Mohammad Razdin. These 4 people are Sri Lankan nationals and are active members of the banned terror outfit Islamic State. All 4 of them are completely radicalized by the ISIS ideology and they are going to come to India to commit a terror attack, Gujarat DGP Vikas Sahai said during a press conference. As per the information, they were going to reach Ahmedabad on May 18 or 19, either by railway or flight. Teams were formed and strategy was created based on the information received. Passenger lists of trains and flights coming from the south were analyzed. All 4 of them were traveling from Chennai to Ahmedabad on the same PNR number through an Indigo flight. Verification was done in Colombo too for confirmation, Sahai added. The ATS team also recovered 3 Pakistan-made pistols and 20 cartridges lying abandoned at a location in the city's Nana Chiloda area, based on coordinates and photographs found on the mobile phone seized from the accused, Sahai said. The men were allegedly directed by their Pakistani handler to collect these weapons, he said. Earlier in March, Two top leaders of ISIS in India were arrested near the international border after they crossed over from Bangladesh. Both the suspects were described as highly indoctrinated and motivated leaders of ISIS in India, involved in various activities including recruitment, terror funding, and planning terror acts using improvised explosive devices (IEDs). That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.